This video will cover the production of retail meat cuts from a top sirloin butt and produce trim for processed meat items. This assessment will take you 60 minutes with an additional 30 minutes where every 10 minutes over will deduct 5%. We'll start by trimming our top sirloin of any excess silver skin on the outside. There should be a large fat wedge on the inside. We will remove this as well. Be sure not to cut too deep into this, as the top sirloin cap is directly underneath it. Once we have our fat wedge removed, we can clearly see this line delineating the sirloin cap from the rest of the sirloin. Once we find that line, we will be able to separate the top cap from the rest of our sirloin by following along the seam. Once we cut through this section, we can see where the meat ends, and we can cut that directly off, leaving the fat on the rest of our roast. Once we have our cap removed, we can split our top sirloin into the roast side and baseball side. We'll look at both sides of our top sirloin and determine where the seam is for where our large tendon sits between them. Once we find that tendon, we can cut directly down next to it, leaving it on the roast side. Once we have our cap removed, we can come back and remove all of the silver skin from the inside of the cap. Once we get to this portion, you'll notice that the silver skin follows into the muscle. We're going to just cut directly up top and not follow that silver skin through the muscle. Once the silver skin is removed, we can flip over to the other side and bring our fat cap down to about 1/4 inch. Next, we'll grab our roast section and we'll trim that, removing any excess silver skin on the outside and trimming up our fat cap to 1/4 inch. When we find this inside piece of gristle, we will come in with our knife and remove it quickly, just so that it doesn't have any extra bad mouthfeel for the customers. Once our roast end is fully trimmed, we can come in and tie it with string spaced no more than 1 inch apart. When our roast is tied, we can bring in a 2 tray and we can make sure to square off the ends so that it fits nicely on the tray. Now with our baseball section, we'll come in and do any excess trimming that we need to finish up with this large piece of gristle on the inside, as well as any silver skin. Once we have our section all trimmed up, we can come in here, trim off the last end, and then start cutting our steaks roughly 3/4 of an inch thick. For the top sirloin steaks, we'll want to once again trim our fat cap on them to be 1/4 of an inch. Our trim pile for this assessment should have no heavy connective tissue, as well as a fat to lean ratio of no more than 15%, consisting of cuts not suitable for other purposes.